So I said, go on then. Can you name them? And he goes, of course. Person, man, woman, camera, TV. Which is funny because I was just asking him to repeat his order, and and then he stumbled away, clearly riddled with dementia. And I said, it's weird. I thought I saw him on the television the next day.
No, that was
garden or something.
That was our Prime Minister.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, a different blonde-headed buffoon.
Yeah, because we've got our own. You see.
Do you think if Donald spray tans that weird almost racist mask on his face every single day? Clearly, there's an Oompa Loompa out there taking offence, surely.
Yeah.
If he does that, do you think Boris is the opposite? Because Boris's skin seems to be the colour of where Trump's skin actually shows up at the edge of his hairline. Do you think Boris tans under his hair?
Well, we've established
under his suit.
We've established that Boris is the Slovene wearing a skin suit at this point.
Well, he's a Slovene and an Auton duplicate, and something much worse than that, real. Welcome back, everyone, to Big Damn Politicast. Nerdy news, geeky gossip, and stuff's been happening.
Left-wing views.
I am Chris. Chew on that, you gammons Johnson.
I am Matt Chokadam Watson.
And the second choice for the fake joke punchline this week was going to be, it's funny because he hates immigrants, but he's moving to another country to avoid living here.
We're spoiled for choice. It's the only thing we are spoiled for choice with this week, because it's fuck all going on again. Because
there's no pop culture news in the world, but there are examples of absolute gammons being absolute gammons.
It's almost
except Matt,
we're in the middle of a pandemic and the rise of fascism as a political idea in the West again.
But that's okay, because we have an annual tradition to distract us with by Jingo.
Oh!
We have our fifth annual San Diego Comic-Con review episode. That's what's happening right now. I always look forward to this every year, because we basically get to clamp our sweaty mitts around the juicy fruit that is San Diego Comic-Con and take a giant, semi-critical but mostly whimsical, I'm a whimsy boy, bite of this succulent, juicy, round, filling. There's so much coming out of it. There's so much to unpack in our annual San Diego Comic-Con. You look... Sorry, hang on one second, everyone. You look concerned on the camera. Are you all right?
It's juicy.
Aye.
Sort of rancid greenish water leaks from an overripe avocado. It's that kind of juicy. I mean, people like avocados. People like avocados. Until you text me pre-show, then I was like, oh yeah, Comic-Cons are a thing. San Diego is a place, yeah. There are other places in the world. Oh, it's July. Until you text me, I had no fucking idea that they were even doing anything. Because
it's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
It's weird how in the last fucking, what has it been now, 5 months, our priorities, my priorities certainly, I can only speak for myself, have shifted so far away from following the kind of news and developments that I normally would when we do the show to just okay, what day is it? Do I need to wear clothes?
Is today pajama day or one of 2 shopping days of the week? What do I do? Where am I going?
When did I last shower? Okay. So yeah. Apparently San Diego Comic-Con at home happened, which is a bunch of Zoom panels and some videos.
Well, that's the big thing about this. I think the reason why it completely eluded you, despite it being something that we follow avidly every year, may have something to do with the fact that this year, and here's the roundup, guys, don't listen any further if you can't be asked, but, leave us a like and subscribe and all that before you go. Thanks very much. There was no big news.
No.
Nothing. No big company, none of the biggies, your Warner Brothers, well, Disney don't do it so much over the years now, but Marvel will do like a thing on behalf of some of their stuff. But like no Marvel big news, no Warner's or DC big news. There hasn't been a single glimmer of anything from the other studios. Universal haven't had a panel. Sony haven't come out with a bunch of stuff. The games companies have all kind of like decided to just release things in packets now over the course of the year. Well, there's no reason to get everyone's eyes drawn into the event.
Xbox had their big game showcase for the Xbox Series X earlier this week, which I completely ignored.
I sort of gave it a cursory glance and was like, oh. They're starting Fable again with the current generation like graphics, and that's cool. Oh, it's an Xbox exclusive. Okay, well, cool. That's it for the.
I mean, it was always going to be an Xbox exclusive because Xbox own the IP. It's a Microsoft-owned IP.
Yeah, true. They also, rumor has it, also have now the complete ownership of whatever the next Batman title will be. But that's not been confirmed, so as always, take it with the tiniest grain of piss.
I find that hard to believe, because it's such a big IP, and Warner Brothers have it.
I don't, though, because I know Sony have the monopoly on the property in this instance, but PlayStation's success with Spider-Man, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox like, right, we've got to lock one down.
Yeah, let's get Batman.
They did manage to wrangle Lara Croft away from Sony for a year's exclusivity.
Yeah, I could see a timed exclusive. And of course, they also own Obsidian now. So presumably anything else that Obsidian make, and they had a couple of games to show, is going to be Xbox exclusive going forward. Although their new Outer Worlds DLC is not.
Oh.
So that's going to be on everything.
Okay. Well, I know this bit of gaming news came out today that sort of ties into Comic-Con related stuff. The team behind Marvel's Avengers, the game we can't really find any excitement for anymore, have confirmed that after so many people have said, where is he? They've confirmed that Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, is a part of the game. He appears in the main campaign, but he's not one of the main characters you play as. But that's because as part of the ongoing free expansions that will be going on, he gets a completely separate story mission all to himself, which no other character from the game or from the extensions is going to be having.
Completely separate story?
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently. Or completely separate story mission.
Oh, come on, let's be honest. It'll be at most 3 hours of content.
Are we thinking similar to the Arkham Knight character DLCs?
Yeah, I think it's going to be that kind of dealio, which I don't mind because at least then he gets a spotlight. Because it did feel weird that out of the sort of the core 6 that is known by the culture at large, he was the one missing. It was a bit like, especially when, spoiler alert for a story that was revealed in the first trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, especially since Cap isn't in the game beyond the prologue.
That we know of.
But the plot revolves around the fact that he died on that day, and that was part of the tragedies, wasn't it? Oh, he'll be in it in some way. But did he, though? But he'll be in it in some way. But it's just...
Did he, though?
God, could you imagine if, like, AIM have got him stashed away somewhere, and it's like, oh my god, I've been frozen in time for 5 years, and that would be the weakest development ever for a character who's frozen in time for, like, 70 years.
Jesus, can you imagine?
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine Square Enix.
Oh, wait, no. Crap. Yeah, I've just imagined it, and it's awful.
Yeah. But they said it's based more on tone-wise. His content is based on of course it is, because everyone draws on this, the Matt Fraction run.
It's the best Hawkeye, that's why.
It is, but it's. I have a feeling that what was that? What was the first art called?
My Life as a Weapon.
That's it. I have a feeling that My Life as a Weapon is going to become the Killing Joke / Dark Knight Returns of Hawkeye, i.e. people will only ever draw from that and never create anything new.
That being said, it unlike some of that other stuff, it's not really problematic.
No, that's true, but I just mean the fact that like it's as though creators only have one
I get what you're saying.
Required reading, which would be a shame because like do something new with him. There is something inherently badass about a guy living in a world of gods and monsters who uses Robin Hood weaponry to fight and kick ass.
But I
so
do
to
think
just tell stories of, here he is, retired, sort of, and training someone else is a bit like, is that going to be the story we see with him every time?
I do think that particular story and that particular run does help to... And I think it's important to have those kinds of stories for like ongoing characters and long-lived characters that are able to sort of bring everything back to basics and to the root of the character. So it's important to have those kind of stories to refer to.
But that's why it's weird.
That's
why it's weird to me as a point of inspiration for this, because it's like, well, this is our introduction to this version of Clint.
Yeah,
and
but
our introduction is a reset button.
If it's set like post the tragedy, then I think that'd be a good place to find him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though like he's sort of he's not really retired in that run. Like he's.
Oh no, but he's away from everything a bit.
He is still involved in event. Like there is some stuff where he's like, oh, I've got Avengers business going on, and like there's the Christmas issue where you see him on an Avengers mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
forgot about that.
So it's like. It's one of those. It's not so much that it doesn't sort of give him a showcase. If anything, it showcases his character over his a bit skill in like he's like purpose in a team book. It's like a good like solo definition for that character.
I get that. So what you're saying is this could be the Old Man Logan of Hawkeye. Not to be confused with Hawkeye from Old Man Logan.
Yeah, but probably good.
Have you seen they're doing action figures based on that?
What, Old Man Logan?
Yeah, Hasbro and NECA in particular have really taken advantage of the Comic-Con weekend time frame to announce stuff they were going to do anyway. And Hasbro in particular have confirmed and extended a range of Fox X-Men universe-based action figures in the Marvel Legends line.
Oh, yeah.
We already knew there was a Mystique coming out based exclusively on Rebecca Romijn's version, thank Christ. Because I know action figures tend to have neutral expressions, but I don't think you could get one looking as bored and sick of it as Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know, without paying a lot of money for the sculptors.
I don't know.
There's a Wolverine that seems to be based on X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's
the best Wolverine.
Yeah, but I think it's because they wanted to do that jacket and also having like a checkered shirt and everything.
To be fair, that jacket is the best thing about that film.
Do you want to see the origin of how he gets the jacket, but then loses it, but then somehow has it in a later X-Men movie? Here it is, guys. Kinberg.
The Fox approach to continuity. There is none.
Oh, God. Emma Frost's in this, but she isn't. We'll see her again in the next film, in the past. So there's that. I'll be honest, the promo images don't do any favours to the likeness. Both the heads that come with the figure don't look particularly good.
I can't imagine they got recent scans.
True,
like they have access to for the...
You know how, like, sometimes the Bandai... or SH Figure Arts, or those companies, when they do likenesses of those actors, they kind of soften the features a bit and make them look a little more animated, but based off the actor.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, which is weird because the Marvel Legends range does a much better job at capturing likenesses outright, so it seems weird that it's sort of an approximation of Hugh Jackman's face.
It might be a licensing thing.
Could be. I mean, it's him, but it's just not very... good. Like, then again, I'll wait and see when we get some promo images that are photos of it on display rather than the promo images, because they aren't doing it justice, and sometimes that's the case. I've got a Big Chief 9th Doctor figure behind me. The promo images, it looked kind of off. In hand, it's like, yeah, no, that's Chris Eccleston. That's Chris Eccleston. I don't know what I was talking about with those promo images. Let me look at them again. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't look right. What? Huh? But I have it in my hand and it looks good. What is this?
And then the figure looks up at you and goes, "Oi, why have you got me in your hand?
Get in the church!" So...
You're gonna burn!
It gives me air from its lungs, and I put a tiny mask on it and say, "Not now." So they revealed those, and they also revealed a 2-pack of Professor X and Magneto based on their appearances in Apocalypse specifically. So like the Magneto, well, not Apocalypse, yeah, It's either Days of Future Past or Apocalypse, but he's in like the
the
armor with the black
films,
trousers and the short cape.
That
and Magneto
is Future Past, I think.
Yeah, there it is. So
where
he comes
you see
with
him at
4
the end
heads
with the big chest plate on the baseball field.
That's the one.
Big chunky chest plate. Yeah.
He comes with 4 heads, 2 helmetless, 2 helmeted heads, each with a likeness based on McKellen and Fassbender.
Good.
So you can mix and match. And Charles Xavier, of course, like the body's based on like Apocalypse, blue suit, slightly slimmer build, ties askew. But he comes with 2 heads as well, a Patrick Stewart and a James McAvoy. So it's like, that's quite cool. They could have done one better and included a second McAvoy with hair, but
yeah, I was going to ask: is the McAvoy bald or in haired?
Bald McAvoy, but if they'd included bald and with hair McAvoy, I think it would have been more appreciated. Because if you're going to partner him with Fassbender, you kind of want to have him with the hair, really. But
yeah,
then again, there's 2 of those movies where he's bald now. So maybe fans of the later X-Men movies prefer bald McAvoy.
Yay!
So those were confirmed, and we knew that there were Deadpool sets coming out. Well, they've now been completely confirmed. Cable, based on Deadpool 2, is coming exclusively to Walmart, so fuck that, we're never going to see it over here.
It'll be in Planet markup at some point, probably.
Hopefully, but the Walmart and Target exclusives don't usually come to the stores over here, which is a shame.
Kapow toys, man.
Yeah, there's a 2-pack of Deadpool and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is coming out, which I'd like, because I'd like to own a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool figure. Doesn't come with a spare head, though. He's just in mask, but it's like, no, come on, give us the grizzled head of Wade, but whatever. I'm happy with it. It looks good, and Negasonic looks good. Is it
Brianna Hildebrand?
Brianna Hildebrand. I was going to say Brianda Hildebrand.
How'd you forget a name like that? Too many Ds.
Yet I remember Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Which is great, because on the packaging it's got whatever that character's real alias is on the packaging, and it's scribbled out in the design, and underneath it's written Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Sharpie. The same with Cable. Cable's action figure is called Nathan Summers, but it's been sharpied over with Cable. So they've obviously gone for like a Deadpool has got hold of the packaging kind of aesthetic. And also in the same line as well, Domino, with the immaculate likeness of Zazie Beetz.
Excellent.
2 heads, one smiling, one stern face, and they look really good. Sorry, I'm nerding out. But they confirmed over SDCC weekend that there are 2 other X-Men sets on the way. One's a comic book one and one's a movie one. The comic book double pack is Old Man Logan. There's been versions of that figure before, but this is him in his big coat, with a couple spare hands, different head, and Hawkeye. So you're blind Hawkeye with his vest on and his bandage Watsits and here, there, and everywhere. And
what about Ultron 6?
No Ultron 6.
Ultron 6.
Who is he Hawkeye as a baby with again?
I can't remember, but Ultron 6 is a better father than you ever were.
That's true.
That's
true.
I want to say...
It's someone from Spider-Man's life.
I think it's Spider-Man's daughter.
Yeah, it's Matty Franklin. Not Matty Franklin.
No, Mayday Parker.
Mayday Parker. And yeah, because it's extra creepy when you're like, but he'd be like 35 years older than her.
Yeah.
They had a kid in the apocalypse.
Let me double check that, because
double check.
Wait, are you saying there's something creepy in a Mark Millar book?
Oh god, it's Mark Millar, isn't it?
Because let us not forget why all the Hulk are super inbred.
Oh god, because he went ahead and did that thing that David S. Goyer's obsessed with.
Yeah,
god.
And I doubt she was consenting. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But
old man
also,
Logan. It's a decent story on the surface of it. Once you actually dig down, like a lot of Mark Millar stories, you actually dig down and go and think about the stuff that's in it. You're like, oh, this dude's got fucking issues.
But then there is one more movie set they've announced, which is Logan. It's a double pack featuring Logan in his white shirt, long black jacket,
Logan,
short head sculpt, and also Xavier. So a knackered Patrick Stewart action figure.
Nope, X-23 or bust.
Oh right, I thought you meant that's who Hawkeye was with. I was like, really?
No, X-23.
Because that's still creepy.
Yeah, Tonya Barton, Hawkeye's third ex-wife, mother of Ashley Barton and a daughter of Peter Parker.
There it is. Oh, so it's not Mayday, but it is Mayday, essentially. Oh, that's gross. That is gross. Why is that a thing? Don't answer that.
Oh, no, it's
so,
not good.
Those toys revealed, plus some more Star Wars and Transformers exclusives, which look pretty. And NECA have announced a bunch of stuff, including more slashers coming to like their ultimate Jason from the Friday the 13th stuff. Like they're rounding up the Jasons now, so that you'll basically have a figure of all of them in this wave by this point. They've revealed the packaging for Greta, because they're doing a couple more Gremlins 2 figures, which made me go, yay! And then I saw they were Ultimate figures, which made me go, oh, because that means each one of them has a price tag of about £35 or above in the UK.
Yeah.
Back when... And you know I've got the wave behind me, they're in this room, they're all the Gremlins that came out before in this wave, and they were like 15 quid. And it's like, I don't want to pay double that, just so they've got a couple spare hands, but I also don't want to not have Greta.
Yeah, it
she's
seems
part of the iconic ones. Greta and the Brain are the two that are missing in the current.
Yeah, well, of course they
current
saved
sort of
them for the
design.
second wave, so you'd have to buy the second wave, and
Well,
then they
no
could
news
do a
on the-
second wave.
No news on the Brain yet.
He's gonna be bad at
Greta.
it. Unless they want
Greta-
to try and push for a third wave.
Well, his sculpt is ready because one of the other two are a green gremlin, which is based on the other kind of design of the face that they have. This sort of two distinct face designs for all the random gremlins, and one of them sort of got little pudgier features, and that's the other one they're releasing. Ultimate Gremlins 2 Gremlin, and then another version of that who's got a big Warner Brothers tattoo on his chest based on a gag from the end. So that's probably going to be like a GameStop exclusive or something.
Sure.
GameStop
exclusive. Fuck me.
Oh no! But that character's got the same sculpt as the Brain puppet, so it's a matter of time before they go, and here's a revised version of the Brain. So I've now got to make some difficult decisions. Oh wait, no, I'd like to eat food.
What about Pinkett?
So yeah, North. Gee, I don't know, Brain.
I couldn't not do it. Fucking.
What if you pour water into them after midnight? North. Point. So, that's it for toy news. Yeah.
What were we talking about again?
I freaking know. San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, it happened. Ooh.
I've watched some panels.
I've not watched any panels. I've watched a few trailers, but most of it I couldn't be motivated to give a fuck about. So,
What things did you give a fuck about? What trailers did you watch?
I mean, none of
Squire
it
holes?
really. If I'm honest,
It's so weird, isn't it? Like normally this episode, we're like, oh my god, then they did this, they released that was pretty cool, and then they announced this actor's going to be a part of this,
Yeah.
and they're doing one of these, and this year it's just, yep, go to their YouTube channel, watch some of the panels, or go to IGN or a few other places like that and watch their literally same upload of the thing that's on the Comic-Con International YouTube channel.
It's weird. Same upload,
But they've put a watermark. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Watermark in the bottom corner. So now you know it's IGN. For some reason.
We got a proper look at New Mutants and a confirmed new release date.
Yeah, with a trailer that takes the piss.
In what way?
The trailer preview, the official preview trailer opens with the deadline for the release of the film that was, and then that was meant to be, and
I
then
watched
was
the
meant
trailer
to
that was
be.
part of the panel, so I didn't see that.
Yeah. So when they popped it out separate, it has this intro with all the dates, and then like tweets of people saying like, "Is this thing ever coming out?" and this, that, and the other, and then eventually it ends with I think it's 28th of August.
28th of August, which I think is
28th of August.
I want to say it's the same day as Bill and Ted.
Yes,
Face
but
the Music and Tenet until Tenet gets delayed again.
Well,
I don't know if
Tenet
you've heard, but Tenet was delayed last week.
What? No.
Yeah.
Tenet in IMAX theaters and some normal screens.
Oh
in Europe.
yeah, because Christopher Nolan's got his big old IMAX Woody, hasn't he?
Big old IMAX. He's got a hard on for IMAX, as big as an IMAX.
I'm gonna shoot everything in IMAX cameras because I really want to use the full frame so you can get the sense of my meticulous clockwork films and the technicality I display.
Isn't it
by
weird?
Showing everything meticulously.
Isn't it? Oh, Chris, you've done it on the screen again. But don't worry, there are 48 feet more of the screen to cover.
But it's in IMAX.
Oh no, 3D, no.
Oh,
Isn't it
no!
weird? Like 10 years ago, I think our opinion of Chris Nolan was probably, yeah, I really like his stuff, and now it's just we've seen enough of his pretension outside of the
I'm
releases.
just so tired of it. It's like,
and part of that's not down to him. Part of that's down to Warner Brothers making a big thing of, oh, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, so it's our summer tentpole.
But I also think part of it is down to like us getting older and our taste changing and our tolerance for bullshit. Like,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's not that he makes stuff for younger audiences than us and we're getting tired of it. It's that the bullshit detector is flashing so heavily at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, this guy. Like, same with Tarantino in a way. Like, I'm just sort of like, no.
Like, I still haven't got around to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I'm just like,
same. Same. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Hateful Eight, but I love it for the performances and the fact that it feels so confined.
Hateful Eight's great, yeah.
And I love Django. I unashamedly love Django Unchained, but I have no enthusiasm for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Django's fine, but I don't think I ever want to watch it again.
I think I've only ever watched Reservoir Dogs once.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is...
Again, great performances, but once you're wise to, like... Reservoir Dogs walked so the rest of his filmography could run.
Yeah, I think Pulp Fiction holds
you can
up.
dissect it like way more because it's like, yep, here's one of his clever conversations and here's one of his witty dialogue sequences and do something different, mate.
Pulp Fiction holds up. I think Jackie Brown is his best film, but that's because it's an adaptation.
Great. Yeah, and the lead performance is absolutely stellar as well.
God,
yeah,
so good.
Pulp Fiction still kind of feels stylish, but now it's kind of feeling stylish in that kitsch sort of way of like, it's a bit weird, isn't it? And then you get into it and you're like, no, do you know what? I jam with it. I'll fuck with it. I'm up for this. Yeah.
Then Kill Bill is like, for me,
Kill Bill's fun, but it's a cartoon.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's whatever. It's fine. Inglourious Basterds is fun, but like, it's a bit of meandering in places. Like,
performances win it over. That opening sequence is the best the film gets.
Yeah.
The opening sequence is masterful, and then after that, I'm like, I could have this on in the background now. Like, I've watched the best bit.
But to be honest, you could cut all the stuff with Fassbender's character.
Yeah,
because it comes out of nowhere and goes nowhere.
Yeah. And I also don't hate Death Proof, but that's because I watched it. It's not anywhere near his best film ever.
No.
I watched it as part of the Grindhouse experience of like.
I watched Death Proof and Planet Terror.
Yeah, well, as a movie night, it was like, okay, this is fun. This is really fun. Yeah. These two films fit nicely as a the fuck am I watching kind of movie night.
From Dusk Till Dawn is a shit hot script though.
It is, but it's also lines nicked from other films in early cinema.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, I mean, even the best line in it. Well, one of the best lines in it. Because let's face it, Cheech Marin's big "Come in, pussy lovers."
Yeah, that's fabulous.
So funny. But one of the best lines in it is the whole, because I got Clooney saying like, "You can try running."
I got like six little friends
and they can all run faster than you can. That's a line from another film.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
even
of course
that's
it is.
Pinched. But where the fuck were we going with this? Oh yeah, that's it, Tenet. But also, unlike Tenet and New Mutants, Bill and Ted have announced, because that was one of the panels I watched. I watched the Bill and Ted panel, which was delightful.
They're going straight to
really
VOD.
Cute. Select cinemas.
Yeah,
but will be available on VOD on the same day. So I think Orion and whoever the studio are have kind of gone, look, if we hold this off too late, we'll lose that momentum we've gained of people going, oh shit, yeah, this looks
Bill
fun.
and Ted.
So we need to put it out there. Scoob has done well enough. Trolls has done well enough. We're a light-hearted comedy film that was coming out in the summer. We're not an epic that's going to fill cinemas. Let's put it out there. So in those countries and states where they have it on lockdown or control enough in terms of the pandemic to be able to do like screenings in a safe way with minimal audiences, great, they'll make a take from that. Good on them. Yeah. Sure, as long as people are safe, that's the key thing. But as far as like our country, for example, on a lot of the states, I think VOD was the best option, because I will absolutely pay the price of one full cinema ticket and change to rent it and watch it at home. Yeah. Like, sure, bring it on.
I'll definitely watch it through your window. While you rent it and pay the price for it, yeah, definitely.
We realised this week we didn't have the first one on DVD. We had Bogus Journey, we didn't have Excellent Adventure.
We don't have either of them, no.
Why don't we own it? I looked on Amazon, it was like $2.99. I was like, sure, boom,
yeah, all right,
let's get it.
Now we do.
We'll have a movie night like sometime this month, and then next month we'll watch it. I think I'm looking forward to it more than I was before. Not just because the trailer was fun. The new trailer's pretty fun and goofy and stupid.
Yeah.
But also because I'm like, I kind of want some goofy and stupid right now. I want something goofy and stupid on my screen that I've not seen before to distract me.
It is goofy and stupid by all accounts. Like,
so
I'm here for it.
It turns out the daughters of Bill and Ted go through essentially the plot of Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey to a point.
Which is brilliant.
They're the B plot of the movie, and their B plot is they're trying to form a band of the best musicians ever to help their dads write the best song ever, and then they end up dying and go to hell. So it's like, oh my god, they're living through 1 and 2.
It's very good.
Whilst Bill and Ted's plan is, oh shit, we still haven't written the best song that's going to save the universe. Why don't we go to the future and take it from the older us who have written the song? And based on this trailer, they go to at least 2 alternate timelines.
Yeah.
Which could be fun. We'd already seen one in the previous trailer with them in prison the size of
super
tanks.
jacked prison Bill and Ted. I love it.
Which is so far removed from them that it's like, this is genius. This is absolutely
love
genius. And then the others sort of look a bit more like rich, successful, very zen. They've got like a mansion. You only see it very briefly in this trailer, but it's like, oh, so the A plot is alternate timelines. Okay. We obviously don't have Rufus, but the panel gives away that Rufus does make an appearance. I believe through archive footage, so I don't know if it's a new scene or if it's just flashbacks, but it means George Carlin is in the movie in some way, which I think is a nice touch.
Excellent.
See, after you say that, you're supposed to play air guitar. And that he did it, boys and girls, and it made me happy in my pants. But it looks like Kristen Schaal is playing a character that sort of assumes that role for this film, which again is like, yep, she fits right in.
I love seeing Kristen Schaal in things. She's so funny.
And it's fun that this time that the 2 time-travelling idiots are the older people who clearly should know better, and the person accompanying them is clearly younger, and it's like, this is great. It just looks fun, man. Yeah, it just looks. It looks like a ton of fun. And I want to get the names right. 1 second. It's because it's Samara Weaving. She's in it, and Bridget Lundy Payne, they're in it as well.
Yeah,
playing the daughters, and they look like they're sort of affecting the accents and the voices a bit. Like some of the mannerisms are there. And in the panel, they talk about how neither of them grew up with the first 2. Samara Weaving even said in the panel, which was moderated by Kevin Smith, who did a really good job. And you're like, can they let him mod more panels?
Well, he used to do a lot of like interview stuff at festivals and that for IMDb.
Well, yeah, the IMDb boat is the thing he works on for Comic-Con, but and those are always fun because you always see the guests immediately, like, about 5% of the guests sort of are like, the fuck is this? But the other 95% immediately kind of loosen up because it's just somebody going, oh my god, I fucking loved you in such and such a thing. Right, anyway, so, forget that. I'm going to talk to you about this. And you can see they've already gone like, oh, alright, this is kind of fun. But he's really good in this because even in this instance, where they pre-recorded it 2 or 3 weeks ago on Zoom, and then it's been edited for the presentation. It was this panel was live streamed out. It wasn't a live panel. But he was really good. He got everybody like on side. He was sucking everybody's dick. It was great because you obviously had the writer and the director and the co-creator of the characters and everybody there.
Good.
But he was talking to Bill and to Ted, the youngers, and Samara Weaving was saying she's Australian. She's not really familiar with Bill and Ted really, but like she was with a partner a couple of years ago when she was approached for the audition, and she told her partner she was in LA, and she told her partner what the film was. It's called Bill and Ted 3, and apparently he immediately just like slipped back into a younger state and started doing the voices and was like, "You've got to go for this! Oh my god, you have to go for this!" And it was only after she did her first like audition that she came away feeling good about it. It was like, can we watch them? And they box setted it and went, oh shit. She was like, oh, I get it now. Okay. This is really fun. And there's something that she singles out and that Kevin Smith singles out, and the director whose name escapes me, it'll come to me though, but he's the guy who directed Galaxy Quest, so great choice.
Okay, yeah.
They all point out that what's really kind of nice about this one apparently is it's sweet. It's an innocent, goofy, stupid movie, and it knows it is, and it tells a heartfelt story, but it is mostly there to make you go, oh, this is dumb. And that's all it wants to be. And as a result, that's... Kevin Smith, the quote he said that I think they're absolutely going to put on the bleeding marketing for it now was, I don't mean it, it's paraphrasing here, but he's like, I don't mean this in a bad way at all. This movie is adorable. It was made to be adored. And it's like, that's a really lovely pull quote. Like, someone slapped that on the DVD cover.
Dean Paraso is the director.
Dean Paraso, there you go.
That was the one. Do Galaxy Quest, and many other things. A lot of TV comedy. Not a huge feature film guy. Did Red 2.
That was fun. I prefer that to the first one. Funnily enough,
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh, the
Jim
Carrey
remake.
I don't hate that one.
It's fine.
I put it this way. I obviously don't hate it enough to the point where I own it, which is weird. Probably not a film I've watched in about 15 years, but it's there on the shelf.
It came out in the cinema. I remember it being fine.
But it's the one thing from this SDCC weekend that made me go, oh, all right. I'm actually more excited about this now. Well done, folks. And well done for deciding to release it on multi-platform, knowing full well that now is not the time to put things in cinemas. Did you get your Odeon email today?
No.
We've spoken about this before on the podcast, but we're both Odeon Limitless members, and our membership has been temporarily suspended during lockdown months. Like we didn't pay a red cent.
I've got it actually.
Basically saying that I don't know which of our two most local cinemas are going to be open, but the email basically says that our membership will start coming out again this month at $15.99 instead of $17.99, and that's it. And I'm like, right, well, I'm happy to pay August because I want to at least see how cinemas are dealing with this over the next month and look into it. If there could be a pre-booking system, if there can be a way to go and see films in like separate enough states, because I, for one, quote, it's not suffering, you assholes, and wearing a mask for the duration of a movie. I honestly don't mind doing that if it's a way to stay safe and, see stuff if they've made it a safe enough environment to be in. Sure, I'll give it a try once. If I'm like, no, that's just too, no thank you, I won't do it again until I know everything's completely fine, like outright. But so goodbye theatres till 2022. But
goodbye Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, on indefinite end.
Hopefully that actually frees the theatre up for something else to take its place when theatres do reopen again.
I'll tell you, was it Her Majesty's? I'll tell you now, Phantom will go back into that theatre. It's too big a name. It will go back. It will go back. They will find a way to do it. They'll either put on like the tour version for a bit and keep it cheap, or like they'll just recast it and everything when the time's right.
I don't know. I hope not.
I know what you mean. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm not the biggest fan of that musical either. But like, it's also going to be instrumental in bringing back tourism to London when the time is right.
Yeah.
Give it a limited run. Bring it back for like a limited month when everything's back to normal, and sell the tickets at stupid high prices, and make that the point. Be like, half of your ticket will go towards like supporting artists who've been fucked over by the pandemic.
Sorry, sell your tickets at stupid higher prices.
Stupidly higher than usual. Yeah. But yeah, so like I'm willing to give my membership another month and see, maybe go to one screening like toward the end of August if it looks like a thing that's doable. Assess it from there, because again, the best you can do for yourself, like if you're worried about yourself, is to shield yourself as much as possible. So I don't mind sitting in a 2-hour movie wearing my mask. I honestly don't give a shit about that. It's uncomfortable. So fucking, like, imagine being injured. Imagine suffering some horrible injury or ailment. imagine taking it off, feeling better for 2 hours, then going home and finding you can't breathe properly and it getting exponentially worse because there are less hospital spaces to be able to look after you. Like, there are worse things than having something over your mouth for a couple of hours. Grow the fuck up. But, anyway, Bill and Ted, I'm thankful that they've at least gone, no, we're going to give you the option. Like, we're going to give you the option. Good on them. New Mutants, though.
I tell you, I'm not going to be rushing to the cinema to see New Mutants, but
No.
should I get the opportunity to see it at home, I'll probably give it a punt, because
Stick it on VOD. Yeah.
certainly the trailer that they showed as part of the panel is the best it's looked so far.
I guess it's the most complete version of it they're able to whip out, really, isn't it? Because the movie's been ready to go for a while, but they did do some reshoots last year.
Well, apparently they didn't.
Oh, is this confirmed in the thing?
Well, that's the thing. Maisie Williams was interviewed. She said, I heard about the reshoots, but I don't think we ever actually did any.
Oh, so that's either her being sarky, being like, that's just conjecture, or she wasn't in it.
So maybe it wasn't her bits that were reshot. Or picked up. Because most films get pickups and reshoots, so...
Oh, sure, but the fact that this one did it long after Picture Lock is a bit odd. Like, long after its, like,
speaks of a
second
retool.
Postponed release date. Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it looks like it could be pretty fun. Like, I love the stuff with magic.
That was always going to be hard to fuck up visually, really, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
She's such a visually distinct mutant, the power set and her look and everything. Who is it? Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy, yeah.
Who definitely looks like her.
Yeah. So I think there could be good stuff there. But who knows? Who knows?
Or dares to dream. Which Colossus do you think she's the sister of?
Oh.
CGI or sometimes CGI Colossus?
I hope she's the sister of Deadpool Colossus. Because then maybe we can get Deadpool, Colossus, and magic in the same. Unless they're going to do the thing where she's just not Colossus' sister. Which they could totally do.
I mean, they've done that before, haven't they? Like, Havoc, he's a Summers, but we're never going to mention a connection to Cyclops.
Yeah, do they not? I can't remember.
No, Cable is referred to somewhere in Deadpool as Nathan Summers, so they at least allude to the surname, but they never go into it.
Yeah, they don't touch on it at all.
Because obviously it'd be the wrong time to do it in his first story, unless that story was an X-Men story. But it's
Also, they didn't have a good Cyclops at the time.
I don't think they had a Cyclops, did they? Like,
yeah, they did. What's
Ty
his name
Sheridan
from Ready Player One? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not great.
No.
In that role, he might be great.
He's
in
no
another
James
role,
Marsden.
No, he is not. Or that random kid from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
The other Cyclops.
Did you see the trailer for Lovecraft Country on HBO?
No, tell me about Lovecraft Country on HBO.
Lovecraft Country seems like it is... It's based on a novel, which I haven't read. I've heard good things about. And it's going to be an HBO series.
Okay.
And it looks like it takes Lovecraft's mythos and blends them with... And, like, actually confronts the racial stuff in them by having it about a black family looking into their past in, like, Lovecraft's... The area his stories were set in. And discovering, like, a super racist cult and dealing with, like, post-World War II American racism through and also marrying it with, like, Lovecraftian storytelling.
So what you're telling me is they're pulling a Hamilton. They're taking taking the exclusionary, marginalized people within the worlds of the original source, or indeed events, and going, we're going to use this to tell a story with the marginalized.
Well, it's also
with the oppressed, like minorities and ethnicities now. Obviously, in Hamilton's case, casting primarily non-white actors in all the lead roles to play the people who found the country and also owned slaves, arseholes. And in this case, they're like, Lovecraft is a massive racist. So we're going to tell a story about that using his stuff. We're going to tell a story about how racist and disgusting people using his stuff as inspiration. It's Starship Troopers.
Yeah, kind of, I think.
It's fucking it up on purpose to say, but the original's stupid and offensive.
Based on a book by Matt Ruff, created for television by Misha Green, and executive produced by J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele.
Okay.
Abrams.
You lost me at J.J. Abrams. You won me over with a J. Peel.
The series follows a black family from Chicago investigating their family history, which just so happens to intersect with a racist cult that has Lovecraftian roots.
Okay.
Is your synopsis. Check out the trailer. Looks interesting.
What's it called again?
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
That's come to HBO Max. Was that HBO Max?
Just HBO.
Oh, just HBO. Okay.
Yeah.
Ockle dockle.
Where was I trying? I need to go back to my... I've lost my page with all my SDCC stuff on it.
HBO. We're not just tits and dragons.
We're not just...
Hey, remember that. Remember that, everyone.
HBO. We never did tits or dragons.
HBO. Winter came and went.
Winter came. Winter... We don't talk about winter anymore. Fucking hell.
HBO. What's winter?
What is winter? So Star Trek's got its new animated series, Lower Deck.
Yeah,
Which,
I watched
as
the
an
preview
animated
clip.
comedy, is going to be hit or miss. So far for me, it's kind of a miss.
It looks like Rick and Morty's. It looks like someone's taken Rick and Morty's visuals and decided to make Family Guy cutaways into a full length episode.
I honestly believe that the comedy version of Star Trek that works is the Orville, and that's having not seen much of it, but seen enough of it to go, yeah, I should watch this because I think this is good.
Yeah, it's this was never going to win people over immediately unless it was unless it was so detached from Star Trek. Like, the reason why no one gets pissed off at the Robot Chicken Star Wars specials is because it's obviously tongue-in-cheek, obviously not meant to be taken seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Here are stop motion sketches with action figures, sometimes voiced by original cast members for that extra level of comedy. Like, that's kind of it. Whereas this is an official Star Trek product, and it's the second animated Star Trek product ever. And it's a piss-take comedy that's violent and has swear words and is about stupid people working for the Federation. And it's like, oh. Now, that is just going off of the preview. Like, the lead actor, one of the voice actors, she's been on the defensive on Twitter in that kind of, maybe don't do this right now kind of way. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, you're not doing it any favours by having a go at people who aren't impressed by the first impression. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, bite your lip for the moment, and then when the second full trailer comes out, you can be like, so proud of this, can't wait for you all to see it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where it's just like, it's bad publicity if the actors are immediately attacking the people it's meant to be made for. Because
we've seen that before.
Unless this is a breakout hit in animated comedy, the only people this is immediately going to connect with or possibly connect with are massive Star Trek fans.
Well, it's also not the only Star Trek animation on the cards.
Oh?
Because there is a Nickelodeon show. Stop it, Tim Allen. Get out of here with your conservatism.
Go sit over there with Woods and Kane. But not Baldwin. Even he's too toxic. Adam. I'm talking about Adam Baldwin.
Any of them, really.
Actually, James Woods might be the most. Let's all put them in a pit and watch them fight to the death. So, a new animated series of Nickelodeon.
Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, okay.
Being developed by the guys who did Ninjago and Troll Hunters.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
And it is apparently about a group of lawless teens who discover a derelict Starfleet ship and use it to search for adventure, meaning, and salvation. That's going to be Nickelodeon, and it's going to be the first Star Trek thing that's properly aimed at kids.
So, Firefly, but for kids.
Maybe.
It's a ragtag crew using a starship and going on adventures.
Maybe.
In a space that won't be too alien, because Star Trek never veers too much into the, like, blockbustery alien kind of on purpose, because it's all really meant to be about relationships, politics, and a positive outlook on life and how we can all work together to a better tomorrow. Unless it's a J.J. Abrams movie, in which case there's motorcycle chases and Spock punching someone near to death.
And Alice Eve in her underwear.
Yeah, but no, you don't understand that. That was a crucial scene.
It was a crucial scene.
It was a crucial scene. If you look very closely at the shadow of her bountiful cleavage, you can see a coded message that when you break down the pixels and rotate them 90 degrees to the right reads, have you heard they're putting Tenet back?
It reads,
so...
what's your... In the original script, when they asked the Benedict Cumberbatch character what his name was, he said, Skywalker.
My name is Snoke. What?
Snoke. I am Palpatine. The dead speak!
Did you see Into Darkness in cinemas?
I did.
Same. I remember that room going, when he went, my name is Khan. It was just like,
Khan.
Oh, is that where we're going with this then? You're just gonna remake Wrath of Khan, kind of. Okay.
Also,
sure.
Last time I checked, Khan wasn't fucking white.
Nope.
He certainly wasn't as white as Benedict fucking Cumberbatch is. Like, love Benedict Cumberbatch, but motherfucker is white.
Oh, do you know what really...
He's whiter than I am, and I'm super fucking white.
Do you want to hear the pettiest pet peeve in the world?
Yes.
So, in the post-non-Comic-Con glow, lovely director Scott Derrickson decided to release something that had been talked about a lot, but had never been seen, which is back in 2016 when Benedict Cumberbatch was promoting Doctor Strange.
Yes.
He told a story quite often about when they were filming on the streets of New York, which was our first look at the character. Those shots that leaked of him and Chiwetel Ejiofor running down a street in New York from the early part of the third act of the film. He talked about a story where they were near a comic book store and they had 5 minutes while the cameras were resetting, and Benedict Cumberbatch just went into the comic book store in costume, talking in character, had a chat with some people in the store, and then left. And then the guy who ran the comic book store, like, around that time, posted a photo of Benedict Cumberbatch, like, posing next to a copy of, I think it's The Oath.
Yeah, the best Doctor Strange story.
Which was on the counter at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, that's kind of fun. Scott Derrickson revealed not only was he with Benedict when he did this, he filmed it on his phone. Yeah. And he put the footage onto Twitter. So
I've seen thumbnails. I've not watched the footage yet.
Yeah, it's just a minute and a half. He just dips in, and it's like, this is cute. He's obviously got. He says something really funny. He says something like, "I just got bored of being on the shelf, and I thought I'd come down and say hello." And it's like, oh, that's kind of cute. But my pet peeve is everyone who interacts with him in this video. Everyone just gets their phone or their iPod out and starts filming him and asking him for a picture. And I'm like, I get it. I do.
Yeah,
but also, the actor filming the film, which has been heavily publicised, that you know is a part of this big franchise you've all fallen in love with over the last 5 or so years, has just popped into the shop between takes, run from the street, come in costume, and is having this really cute moment, which the director is filming. The guy who's coming with him is filming it, so you know that it's going to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
Can you not just sort of enjoy the moment and have a chat to Doctor Strange? Or, like, high five Doctor Strange. Or
gotta get it for the gram, bro.
It's so... maybe it's because I'm a little desensitized to celebrity because of, like, my career over the last 10 years has involved me interviewing a lot of people from things, and sometimes it's people I admire quite a lot and stuff. I'm sort of desensitized to it a little because in those instances I've never fanboyed or whatever, because I've always been like, I'm their host, so I've got to, like, make them feel comfortable, ask them the right questions. Yeah. Sometimes, like, the studio will be like, can we get a photo of you guys together? And it's, oh, cool. And sometimes, I think on a couple of occasions, I'll be like, do you mind if I get a picture? Like, it would mean a lot if we could get a quick pic. But I'd never ask it. I'd ask, like, 2-3 hours into the working afternoon. I'd be like, can we get a quick pic? You know, things like that. And I've only ever really been kind of starstruck a couple times because I get into that mindset quite easily. There's only a couple times where after the guest has left, I've sort of been like, oh my God, can you believe that? That was amazing. Then you move on. But, like, you know, just enjoy it. Enjoy the conversation. Enjoy that story. Twitter embodied that beautifully last year a couple times. Remember people were doing it. What's your most mundane celebrity encounter? It was like a trend of people were just talking about like bumping into bloody Michael Douglas in a coffee shop queue and they chatted about meatball sandwiches or something. You just saw like those moments are more like that's kind of brilliant. It's like, oh my God, you randomly just had a chinwag with Sandra Bullock whilst queuing up to use the toilet at the airport. Like that's, to me, that's a more kind of, oh, that's sweet. And I'm watching this video and I'm like, fuck's sake, everyone gets the phone out. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment.
I took
really
David
cool.
Schwimmer's crisps off him so he could go into the theatre.
You did, and on that same night, when he left, he said good night to everyone because I was there because I was staying at yours.
Yeah.
And he said good night, and he said like thank you for everything, and I just sort of went, I wasn't working. Because it's like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I'm just sat here waiting for my mate to finish his shift.
I asked David Tennant to please take his seat so he could start the performance. That's what I asked. That's what I did once. And then
you went, but before I go, could I get a selfie for the gram?
No, yeah, exactly. I was pissed at a urinal next to Martha Darville. Like, I didn't get my phone out. You know what I mean?
Take a photo of his Rory Williams.
Hey! Fucking hell. What else happened at SDCC? His Dark Material Season 2 trailer.
Yes. Cool. And they confirmed that that Andrew Scott's character's demon
is going to be voiced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Which is like, that's great. That's a lovely bit of fan casting. I mean, obviously it's because, you know, there's a whole thing in that of they're meant to be really kind of, there's a very personal connection. So cast somebody he's got great chemistry with, but also anyone who's a fan of Fleabag will be like,
It's a shame his demon's not a fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be fit. But alas, it's not to be. I have no idea. I have no knowledge of his Dark Materials beyond Northern Lights. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but I like that first season, so more please.
Bring on more in the holes. BBC and ITV got the floor a little bit and would have had actual panels, but alas, 'twas not to be, of course. But BritBox got a spot, and they chose specifically to do a panel for Red Dwarf: The Promised Land, because The Promised Land will be making its American debut on BritBox. I believe they were meant to have flown out, but of course they didn't, so it was just a Zoom panel with a moderator from BritBox. But it meant the San Diego Comic-Con debut of Robert Llewellyn, Craig Charles, Chris Barry, and Doug Naylor. Danny John Jules wasn't available. But based on like Craig's knowledge of Wi-Fi and the way Chris Barry is not quite looking at the webcam on his laptop, I wouldn't be surprised if Danny John Jules just didn't know how to operate Skype.
It's like, I don't know how this works, lads.
But it was. I watched that. It was a lovely panel. It was just sort of nice to get that kind of American bent to the questions that they were being given, and it was just really charming. And as usual, they all like proved to be very funny and take the piss out of each other and have a giggle. And it made me go, do you know what? If it's not on UK TV Play, I might shell out for the DVD because I kind of want to revisit this feature now. I don't know why. Again, I think it's my want for just something daft and
I didn't
silly.
love The Promised Land. I could have cut half of it and I think it would have been improved.
Apparently, the first scene they shot for it, because they were only all together, all the scenes with all four of them in shot, were only possible toward the end of the shoot. Because it was put together very quickly, and I think it was like 2 filming days and the 3 days in studio with an audience, because they did film chunks of it in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Those are the days they were all together, but there were some shots, according to Doug Naylor, who directed this one, where the 4 of them were in the scene, but the 4 of them weren't on set at the same time. Wow. Due to availability. So a lot
that
of cutting
probably
around.
Explains why some of it fell flat, I think.
But the first scene back was the least flat and most sort of emotionally interesting scene of it. The first scene they shot was because Craig and Chris were available. Was the sort of the heartfelt conversation with Rimmer, the one where he's like reassured.
Oh yeah.
about
That
what his
is
usefulness
that is actually a really good scene.
And that was the first one, and Craig Charles and Chris Barry going on about, like, it was baptism by fire. Like, they hadn't played the characters on camera for, like, 3 or 4 years. But here they are, like, doing the most emotionally weighty scene in the whole special on day one, and they had day one to get it done. And they didn't have time. Yeah, so... And it's probably the best writing in the special, and the best performed scene in the special.
And of course, it did give us the gag of the giant floppy drive.
Oh god,
that's one of the best gags I think they've done. Like best visual gags.
Holly's backup disc. It's a floppy fucking the size of a fucking fence. Oh,
really good. But yeah, so yeah, okay. So we got some BBC stuff coming. We got some BritBox stuff coming. How's that materials coming? Anything else? Oh, yes, I almost forgot about this because it is completely forgettable. So Hulu are still doing Marvel shows, and they showed off the trailer for Hellstrom.
Okay, is this animated or live action?
No, it's live action. But
so is this one of the ones? Is this one of the ones that filled the void after? Because originally, right, hang on, let's try and remember this. Originally, it was a MODOK animated series.
No, it's not. It was a separate thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because those 4 were MODOK, Howard the Duck, Hitmonkey, and Tigra.
No,
and it was another one, Dazzler.
It was Dazzler and Tigra.
Was it Dazzler and Tigra?
The ones who were together. Yeah.
Okay. I know a couple of them have been canned. Like the Howard show has been canned.
I think they're all canned at this point. I don't think.
Which is so weird. Like, because they all went into again, Kevin Smith. He was involved in the Howard one, and he was one of the first people to break the news that it's not happening. I don't know how much I can say, but we had the scripts and they were really enjoyable and really fun. But yeah, but obviously it gave him the showrunning experience for Netflix to then be like, "Do you want to do this Masters of the Universe reboot?" And he went, "Sure."
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So it led to that. He did his traditional San Diego Hall H an evening with though. It's on Comic-Con International's YouTube channel, and it's just a 50-minute. It's edited, but it's a 50-minute piece of him just basically giving what he'd normally do, which is, here's what I've been up to this past year for people who don't follow me apart from once a year. And in it, he revealed the first bit of first visual reveal of characters from the Motu reboot on Netflix.
Okay.
Except it wasn't. It was an oil painting by one of the writers of Naked Skeletor spread out on a chaise lounge that he gave Kevin as a wrap gift for the voice recording sessions. So it was like, oh, okay. That's still funny, but damn it, like, I kind of want to see some character models. But okay, so Hulu had already done, because for those people who don't know, there are other live action TV shows that are spun out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't know if it's MCU, but it's Marvel.
It will be. It will be, but it'll be in the same way as Cloak and Dagger and Runaways. Like the connections, the connections will be non-existent, but they won't contradict anything in the MCU, so that they can slot in.
Yeah, I mean,
Cloak and Dagger's on Amazon, right? On Amazon Prime.
I don't know where you watch it at this point.
I kind of want to watch it and Runaways, because isn't Devil Dinosaur in Runaways at some point? And the only good thing about Inhumans was, CGI Lockjaw. So I want to watch a CGI T-Rex.
I don't know if Devil Dinosaur's in it, but I think Old Lace might be in it, who is Gert's Velociraptor.
Right. Okay, that might be who I'm getting. Yeah, that might be who I'm getting confused with then. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I refuse to watch anything, and I turn it down. I deny this reality.
I'll substitute my own. So
is Hellstrom about Damien Hellstrom?
Yeah.
So is it Hulu trying to do Constantine / Lucifer, basically?
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, Damien Hellstrom's sort of from the wider kind of like Doctor Strange universe, really. He pops up in a lot of other stuff, and he's had his own like limited series, but he's very much here's a magic user who deals with hell and demons.
He's supposed to be the son of Satan.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's mostly just Spike from Buffy, with a flaming pentagram on his chest, who occasionally bothers Brother Voodoo or Mephisto, or it's just like, okay, Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I guess he's in the queue to have a... Can they put this time, effort, and budget into, like, I don't know, maybe finding a way to close up the Netflix characters in, like, a one-off, like, TV movie or something, so that we can at least officially say goodbye to them in a way that doesn't feel like it's cruel and never-ending, i.e. seeing that all of the costumes have been auctioned off now. Which is so
you only
weird.
get endings in the Netflix shows if you're an Asian character, in which case you just get your story arc unceremoniously cut short by Jeff Loeb.
Don't.
Yeah.
The Jeff Loeb giveth and the Jeff Loeb taketh away.
Yeah, especially if you're not white. So this.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah.
I know I'm not wrong.
Oh god.
Yeah. So this.
Long Halloween. Yes, please. Ultimatum. Fuck no.
It doesn't look as interesting as Constantine or as fun as Lucifer.
Or as interesting and fun as that brief scene where they meet in Crisis. Have you watched that?
No, but I have seen a fair chunk of Lucifer.
I've still not watched Crisis, but I've watched that scene and I recommend you Google it.
Okay.
There's a brief scene where they pop to Lucifer's dimension because, like, John needs something to help with the main storyline, and it's just an excuse for them to write those two characters finally in a scene together, and
Brilliant.
it is delicious.
I mean, Tom Ellis is super fucking charismatic and
it's
super
great.
charming.
Well, everyone calls him Constantine, don't they? In the Arrowverse shows, Lucifer calls him Constantine.
Ah.
You can see it's pissing him off. And it's like, oh god, they're even using this as an excuse to do more fan jokes. Like, this is good. And Lucifer's universe is Universe
the 666. Of course it is.
There you go.
So, according to the Polygon write-up, because I'm using Polygon's sort of aggregation of everything to pull things from, Hellstrom follows Damon Hellstrom and Anna, his sister. 1N. Adult children of a serial killer who now spend their time growing up into detectives that hunt killers and demons. The first look at the series showed Damon and Anna visiting their mother, who's been institutionalized in a very Hannibal Lecter-style scenario. She says creepy things and looks creepy, and there's various shots of nothing really happening, and it looks dark and washed out and dull.
So is that Marvel Television or is it just Hulu?
It's Hulu. I think it's Marvel Entertainment. I don't know.
So some gone then.
Yeah, some come.
Okay.
Some Marvel and some Hulu. I assume this comes out of the same arrangement that made Runaways possible. So make of that what ye will. Probably not very much, because it doesn't look like the showrunners are making that much out of it. Okay. Shall we do a couple of emails?
Maybe. My software's playing havoc this week, so let's hazard it. Let's hazard an email.
We can push the emails till next week if you're having trouble with the software.
Do you know what? I'm terrified because we're like an hour and a bit in. And if this goes weird, and we have to re-record, I'd rather do that within the next 5 minutes and do it for the next hour than not. So yeah,
I'll tell you what,
sorry folks, we're gonna push the emails back to next week. And
we'll
also,
push the emails back to next week.
For those wondering, where the hell where's your Justice Con coverage? Where's your coverage of all the HBO Max
as well? Yeah,
because it's only just happening as we're recording. So
and next week we'll get into the Joss Whedon stuff as well. See if any more has come out about that, and
there's been
sort of
more.
try and unpick that top knot. Oh, fuck off with your top. It's your top knot that's sickening your computer to the point where it can't fucking record properly.
It's like a TV aerial. If I tilt it one way, I'll tilt it the other. I might get a clearer reception.
How have you got 2 MacBooks, neither of which can run Audacity properly?
Well, no, one runs it fine. It's just an old piece of hardware that's knackered.
MacBooks are so good, though.
See,
this is why I don't go to bed till 2 in the morning on a fucking record night, because neither of your MacBooks can run fucking Audacity properly.
makes you feel any better, I don't go to bed till like 5 a.m. on a record night.
Doesn't make me feel any better!
Because I then have to render the stuff we've done into the video.
Yeah, because your MacBooks are shit! Both of them!
No, the new one's good.
It doesn't run any of the software it needs to fucking run!
Matt, if you keep shouting, the old one's going to hear you through my headphones and it's going to delete this recording.
That's alright, it makes it easier to sync.
That's true. If anyone's listening to this and all they can hear is just you doing your bits, you had a good night.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to call it there just in case it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, we'll cut it short for this week because of technical errors. So in the meantime, you know everything. At Big Damn Cast on Twitter, twitch.tv/BigDamnStream, all the good stuff.
Support the show directly through patreon.com/BigDamnCast, which also gives you access to the Discord server. Come along, join us. It's nonsense and bollocks and fun, and there's weird things like creepy creeps.
Creepy creeps.
Which is what's happening to my software right now.
Be good to each other. Stay safe. And
enjoy the rest of your Comic-Con, everybody.
Yay! Bye!